When life knocks you down, and life will knock you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. Welcome to Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Fire with Dr. Ninja Turtle. In the last video, I talked about a checklist that you could use to retire early in 2025. Part of retiring early is making sure that you don't run out of money. In this video, we're going to talk about how to bulletproof your finances so that you don't run out of money. Now, this video was inspired by Erin Talks Money, and I'll have her video linked below. But what happens in early retirement is markets go up and down, and we want to know the 6 things that you can do to bulletproof your finances and sleep soundly at night. And we'll talk more about the pillow test later on. The first way that you can bulletproof your retirement is to have a large cash emergency fund. Now, some people use the bucket strategy to have a now bucket with cash that could cover them for 1, 2, or even 3 years. And then they have another bucket, which is medium-term investments. And then they have their long-term bucket. That's one way. A retirement emergency fund is one thing, but having cash sitting around is not something that I would do, but that is a strategy that allows some people to sleep well at night. The first of the 6 strategies that I'm going to talk about is having an emergency fund. Now, we all know about an emergency fund. I don't particularly have an emergency fund, but I have other options that can serve as my emergency fund. So some people believe that if you have a 1, 2, or 3 year emergency fund, that can bulletproof your retirement so that if the markets go down, then you can handle market downturns. I'm into real estate, so my emergency fund are buying more rentals. So if I have paid off rentals, that is my emergency fund because of the cash flow from the paid off rentals. A portfolio buffer is something I learned about today watching Erin's video. I did not realize that some people build an extra buffer into their investment portfolio just to make sure that they don't run out of money. And Erin says that a conservative buffer is 10 to 15%, a moderate buffer is 20 to 25%, and an aggressive buffer is 30 to 40% of your portfolio. So if your portfolio says that for you to have financial independence is 1.5 million, then you want to add either 15% all the way up to 40% to make sure that you have extra money within that portfolio so that you will never run out of money. Please like and subscribe so that I can donate the proceeds when I become monetized to charity. The third strategy that I want to talk about is the guardrails. Some people call them guidance guardrails, but the guardrails approach says that as the stock market goes up, you can spend more money in retirement, a higher percentage. And as the stock market goes down, you flex and you spend less money. And that will help you to never run out of money. If we have a prolonged downturn in the stock market, then you may have lesser quality of life in retirement until the market comes back up. However, the good side to this is that if the market goes up, you can spend more than the baseline 4% rule. You could maybe spend 5% or 6%. Again, I'm into real estate. I have very little money in the stock market, and therefore I'm not relying on the guidance guardrails for my retirement. The fourth strategy that I'm going to talk about is paying off your house. A lot of people pay off their house going into retirement, especially if you follow the Dave Ramsey philosophy. But a lot of people also have a mortgage that is less than 4%. And sometimes they can make more money in their high yield savings account than they can on paying off their mortgage. So some people choose not to pay off their mortgage and to keep money in a high yield savings account. One of the things that the Money Guy show talks about is that they have enough money to write a check to pay off their house if they ever wish to pay off their house. What I do is I pay an extra $100 a month on my mortgage so that my mortgage becomes 0% interest. Now, that's not paying off my house prior to retirement, but it is shaving at least 7 years off of the payments of my house. So in the comments, let me know, do you plan to pay off your house in retirement, even if it is a sub 4% mortgage? Number 5 is keeping your expenses low. And paying off your house is keeping your expenses low. And now we go into other fixed expenses. For example, paying off cars, having a low mortgage, or moving to a low cost of living area. A lot of people are moving to Thailand, Costa Rica. There are many countries and states in America where people are moving so that their pension or their Social Security can cover them well beyond what it costs to live wherever they live. Number 6, consider part-time work as a side hustle. You can do many things just to bring in an extra $10,000 or $15,000 a year, and many side hustles can bring in $100,000 a year. This will really help if there's a market downturn. You will have to pull less from your portfolio during a market downturn, and therefore you may not have to use the Guyton's guardrails. My wife has unretired and is doing her side hustle along with getting her pension. I am doing my side hustle by teaching in colleges along with getting my pension. And the fact that we moved to a low cost of living area really bulletproofs our retirement. And on top of all of that, I live on less than what I bring in. My final thoughts on bulletproofing your retirement is that if you have planning and flexibility, you can reduce money stresses, you can reduce the fear of running out of money, and you can really enjoy your retirement. Also, I want to update you on my financial literacy meetup that I have in my local town. I did it at the local library last week, and I had 3 people show up. It was fabulous. Now I have 6 people in my community, and we're all working together to improve our financial literacy. The quote of the day is, "You will be as happy as you choose to be. Never let your past determine your future."